Team Freedom's Omni Knight was a support, I'd be with them 100%. Because they have 3 melee damage dealers.
Yeah.
And at the same time, though, it's an off-lane Omni Knight. So how much is he going to be repelling? How much is he going to be healing? He's mostly going to be running.
Though, right? It's going to be a 3 Omni Knight to pressure at least.
Yeah. All right, I'm still with it. Let's go.
I mean,
perfect Omni game.
Well.
Let's go. Freedom all the way, baby.
I'm going
America.
I'm going to change it up. Even though CompLexity does, or even though Freedom has the Train Protector, I'm going to go for Cole's lineup. I like their late game potential and the way to stall the game and just take objectives. So I'll go with them.
All right. Well, let's find out who's going to take the first game of the series. CompLexity or Freedom. Over to OD Pixel.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dream League casting desk. I'm OD Pixel, and we're ready to take you through the final series of the day. We have Team Freedom once again, but this time playing up against CompLexity. And CompLexity with something a little bit different. This Jug Magnus draft, but with the Magnus going mid, and I feel like we don't see as much mid Magnus as I would hope, because it's such a great hero, gods. If you get a good Blink Dagger timing on him, you're gonna have a good fun game.
Not the Battle Fury timing with you?
Not the Battle Fury.
Okay.
Even though he should buy Battle Fury.
It's kind of the passive, similar to something that Fog mentioned, the DK mid matchup, where you just sit there spamming your nuke to farm. You're not going to have a horrible time even against the ranged hero. So 5-man smoke, CCNC breaks it, and tiny little jaunt just to make sure he gets out of range of the shackle.
And the shard's not enough to block him. Maybe if those shards would have grabbed him, I think that would have certainly been the first blood. But not quite getting the catch potential. But yeah, so looking at the side lanes, what are we going to see? Are we going to see a certain team look for a certain matchup in this laning stage?
Looks like both teams going fairly standard for now. Weaver headed to the safe lane. Jug is going aggressive to contest the room, but it looks like it will be a Jug Shadow Shaman pairing up towards the top lane. Demon in trouble.
And a lot of trouble here with the orb coming through. They are certainly going to chase this one down, surrounding the Shaman and grabbing the kill. CCNC able to pick up the final touch. He loves that first blood for the mid lane puck. That's all good for Mr. Cool, Calm and Collected. And yeah, the other lane's looking to, as you said, revealed to be what we did expect for the most part.
Yeah, so Swindle is going to be playing a core Jakiro in the off lane. Talked about how like Tusk Jakiro, maybe a dual off lane. Looks like Tusk will be, for now, starting towards mid, but could easily roam in between mid and the off lane.
Is he going to be all right in his own downer on the Jakiro then?
Not really. If it's a 1v1, he's fine, which for now it is, but CM, I think the reason CM's on the bottom lane is because CM doesn't really care if Jakiro gets some XP. She knows that come level 2, level 3, a gank bottom lane will be a very easy kill on a hero like Jakiro. So Swindles can get XP and farm for now, but has to be very wary of any ganks and rotations in.
And we're up top, having to be ever aware of the presence of this Trin. So these are two pretty beefy heroes that can certainly punch into the Jug early on. He does have the backup of Demon. So with Z-Freak now moving into position up top, they could try and make a go on this. Well, snaking then. He's got a purification level 1. But they're still aware that F Lee is there, and he'll come actually in with a reveal with a few punches in onto Z-Freak, forcing this Tusk back.
Yeah, some really good damage up. This is where Trent really excels, when he can just kind of stick around in the trees, wait for someone to get out of position, and is the best hero at punishing like bad maneuvers. I mean, for Tusk there, he doesn't really know Trent's in the neighborhood, just wants to buy a TP, ends up losing half of his HP.
I'm interested to see how well this mid lane goes for Chessie at the moment. 9 for 1, 9 for 1. He's keeping on par nicely with the putt with that power and shockwave.
Yep, that's kind of mentioned. It's not going to be too hard of a lane for Magnus. He'll go for the early bottle. He'll be able to spam his nuke. Last hitting wise with Empower and Quelling Blade, Puck can't deny all too easily. It's just going to come down to whether Puck can like harass him out of the lane. But with bottle, with salves, that's not exactly all too easy.
Up top again, this aggression coming through from the two of them. Snaking and F Lee looking to force the Freak back. Will be kept alive by the healing ward. Shackle from Jimmy as well to hold back the treat. See bottling up the arcane. And, I mean, talking about the Magnus as well, I mean, it's obviously great because you've got that Jug Magnus pairing, but it's going to be a game where it's going to be quite hard for that Magnus to hit these RPs, isn't it? With, well, three heroes that are ranged for a start, and Omni Knight that's going to be looking to sit right back at these fights. And actually, mid lane, Chessie getting harassed back, but yeah, it's going to be hard for Chessie to get the jumps these games.
Absolutely. Elusive heroes, and even if you don't catch Omni Knight, he could just Guardian Angel and block the follow-up damage, which is mostly physical from the Jug, like cleaving Omni Slash. So need to make sure you either catch the Omni or he's not in the area. Top lane, they're going to go in on the Omni. Does look like they'll have just enough damage to get the kill. So well-coordinated initiation from Cole. And this is the lane where you have to get kills or at least push them out of the lane. You've committed 3 heroes to your safe lane. You can't be just trading farm with an Omni Knight.
Some detection would go a long way as well. They're able to catch out. He's been getting a lot from this lane in terms of XP.
Lane stage is always going to be tough for Freedom. When this CM just jungles and goes uncontested, it means everyone's going to be playing with the Arcane Aura, 2 points in already. So Puck, Omni Knight, these are heroes that really excel in the lane, and we throw an Arcane Aura on top. Lanes get even easier. You're able to just spam your nukes a little bit more and avoid some of those mana problems that heroes like Omni Knight frequently have.
Talking about the CM, eyes onto Z-Free, and Z-Free eyes onto her. Don't need her looking to make any sort of play at the moment. Both out on their own at the moment. Just, yeah, trying to secure this bounty win, and Z-Free will be successful up top. Demon goes straight for the TP out, and he will make it. Further disable there from the side of Team Freedom mid lane. We see it continue now. The edge certainly getting there for CCNC. 32 against the 19. Finding quite the lead in this mid lane now against Chessie.
Yeah, Chessie's just getting harassed a bit too much out of the lane, and CCNC with the double null build hasn't prioritized getting a bottle, knowing that he can actually out DPS the bottle regen. Chessie's getting all these runes, keeps refilling his bottle, but every time he comes back, CCNC is going on the aggressive, trying to harass him out.
Smoke to be picked up now by CM. We'll see where they want to be heading. Didn't make anything happen in that mid lane. Bottom lane, Yawar being pressured.
Imagine the bottom lane is the easiest lane to gank in some ways, but it is going to be Demon coming in. Can he kill CCNC alone?
He's going to have a good chance to hit. Didn't actually go for the shackle. It doesn't need it. Chessie there landing the long wave shockwave.
Nicely played.
Very nicely done indeed.
Yeah, he just anticipated the move for the Shrine. He knew that CCNC, with all the damage he was trading at mid, it was ultimately going to rely on that 5-minute Shrine to stick around, and Demon was ready for it.
And down in the jungle, CompLexity looking to find more already, closing the gap onto the CM. The shackles are there from Jimmy. Third kill picked up, some nice rotations paying off. Top lane, going to be made onto move, but he's got the Blade Fury. Will back off. And of HP regen, does have a Mango, and yeah, we'll put the Mango healing ward, get himself back into fighting shape on this top lane.
Yeah, Cole's done really well on the laning stage, and I feel like we're just not really seeing much of a presence from CM so far. She's been jungling, offering the aura, but often in the first 5-6 minutes you'd see at least one rotation, pick up a smoke, try and gank either the mid lane or the safe lane, but it's been CompLexity making all the moves. Demon and Z-Freak, very active.
Yawar's got to be careful down there as well. Any sort of opening, and Demon will be in there with the shackles.
No detection though, and none coming out on the courier, which makes it a bit hard to take this fight, or to really go in, unless he uses and wastes the Shikuchi, which is what they're waiting for. They're hoping he Shikuchis forward just to get some last hits, and then they're able to punish it.
And all things said and done, Swindles has been having he's been having a fine time on this bottom lane. You mentioned there's definitely the potential of him being ganked, but it hasn't happened as of yet. Team Freedom have given this off-lane Jakiro quite a bit of space.
Yawar's got friends now with the Treant coming in.
Eyes onto Husk. Z-Freak very deep at the moment, and they can certainly go for this here, but the bug's out. Now we'll get the Sprout straight away. We'll have the Snowball. Get him out across the creeps, and he will survive. Demon hunting down Yawar, just needs to find the vision for the shackles, but again, the lack of detection certainly hurting them.
Yeah, Puck's rotated in, but it's actually a wasted rotation as CompLexity fully get out of there, and that's definitely okay for CompLexity. The Puck rotates in, you fall back to your Shrine after getting harassed a bit, and Weaver being slowed down somewhat by the presence of multiple heroes up here. So you kind of taking a big picture look at this. All core heroes in the game getting some farm. You can see the CS charts and net worth pretty even across the board. the CM in the jungle getting a bit more than some of the other heroes, but despite having the CM aura, Freedom aren't necessarily doing a whole lot with it to win these lanes.
You need to make sure your wire's a bit of a better time than he is. He's getting some heavy pressure put on him. Still on the same part though as Moo. Moo certainly being held behind as well. They'll look to try and go on to Swindles, but again, Demon is there. He wants to be so careful, and in fact the Snowball coming in allows time for Jimmy to get the Hex off, but they have the damage, they certainly do. With the ult out from Swindles, they'll take one, then they're moving from more, but Snakey comes in with the rotation, pops the GA, starts to force C3 back. But at the end of the day, that's him popping the ultimate. They're not going to get a kill out of this one, and they were unable to save your War. So again, players from CompLexity just coming out a little bit stronger as Freedom are unable to react in time.
Yeah, and they're doing this while rotating less heroes. Jug stays top, Magnus stays around mid and around his jungle, so they're getting these alright trades without bringing too many.
And this bottom lane, as soon as the sentries come out, you know, that's when the plays start to happen. They get a weaver and quickly they move it on to catching out F. Lee as well on the tree.
See where Freedom look to respond. This puck haste rune is definitely a good tool to have to try and make some moves, but ganking a Jug not going to be the easiest of targets. Can always Blade Fury TP away, and it's going to require UR to perhaps force that Blade Fury out, or to just chip him away to get him low enough. Yeah,
TP backups can come in as well. They're going to try for this, but as you said, it's a hard one for them to get away with. Moo just goes for the Blade Fury, and TP's away.
Yep. They kill a healing ward, but that's not really worth the time and effort from CCNC. He's going to now TP back mid, gives up on the top lane, and this bottom lane continues to be a problem. Swindle's already maxed out the Liquid Fire. You've got to keep heroes down here, otherwise he's just going to take your tower.
They may be able to punish him this time though, coming a little too close for comfort. F. Lee closes the gap. Yeah, this time will catch out the Kiro. Mid lane though, Chessie, he's getting bigger and bigger. He's going straight for the Echo Saber first, has the Oblivion self-dome. And once he's got that, he's going to be fairly beefy. He'll certainly put a step up to his farm rate with Empower already at level 3.
Yeah, I feel like this pace of this game is fine right now for CompLexity. They're going to accelerate with the Empower farming, the Jug, the Magnus, only start farming faster. So even while CCNC is dominating in terms of farm and net worth, he's a good, still like 15 CS above the Magnus. He's well ahead in net worth in some ways, but he hasn't been effective by actually rotating, just by farming.
Oh, a little attempt there to try and grab the rune. He won't get it, but they may just get the kill here. They again trap up the tree and the snowballs out. They'll bring him down, and they may think about going for more. The Shockwave will miss. He does have an RP if Chessie wants to try and fight this. It looks like they're just going to look to walk it off. Or for Chessie now RPing just to save himself. It's not going to happen. The Frostbite comes in. The RP will be in vain as he still ends up losing his life. Ult down now, turning towards CCNC, trying to punish him, but going for that play. But he has the repel for the Omni Knight. Orbs back up to the high ground and will get himself out of there. So this time, Freedom get away with the kill, and also make sure that Chessie whiffs the ultimate essentially and gets nothing out of it.
Yeah, the aggression onto the tree and protector there does get punished, and we see CCNC make his first kind of stamp on this game with the big kill on Magnus. Gets him even further ahead. He's hit level 10 already. This Veil Blink Dagger is going to come very fast, and definitely a concern when he has the Blink as well, because that's where it's no longer safe for the Juggernaut to be farming alone when there's that Blink Silence initiation.
Bottom lane. Moo and Swindle starting to put the pressure on. Seeing Swindle this game going straight for the hood. Understandable against a lot of this early game damage that Team Freedom have. And in fact, Team Freedom ready to go. Straight in onto the Dragon. Lays down the spell, starts to walk it off with the stick. With the chase down with the repel. Omni looking for some action. Backups there though. Z-Freak turns up to town. Shards out. They have the lockdown. They'll go forward with a phase shift there from CCNC. We'll keep him safe.
Yep, great healing ward micro. Swindles just kept getting healed up, and even though they went on him, they needed to kill the healing ward first. I thought the Treant was just going to hit it out of invis, but he wanted to really get the root, and then he's been caught now.
No, he's around. Yeah, great dust there.
Yep.
From Cole, they've spotted out the tree and they'll bring him out and down. Now with 4 heroes down here, they can look to certainly finish off that tower. Chessie's now got the Echo Saber complete. Out courier to him right at this moment. CCNC still hanging down. He does have a Dream Coil.
They want to try and punish this tower push.
See what he can do. Goes forward onto the Chikiro. Silence to begin. Just get instantly hexed up in return by Jimmy. They'll put the freezing field, but CompLexity already out of range of it. Swindles turns around with the ice path. Will be taken down. As CompLexity now starts to back up. Team Freedom. A lot of members down here. They'll look at the sidelines. Jimmy goes for the TP, but the Dream Coil will be dropped to stop him from getting out. Take down the Shaman as well. And Team Freedom reclaim control of this bottom lane. Still, Jesse focusing on the farming.
Yeah.
Let's have an Invis Rune and such. I wonder if he could maybe have turned up, but I guess does he just want to play it safe and get that Blink Dagger timing before turning up to these engagements?
That's the idea for him. I feel like there is still some disconnect between what his idea of how to play this game and the team as a whole, because if you're going to commit that many heroes to that tower, you have to understand that Freedom are going to try and defend it. They've got Tree and Protector in their team, so if they defend their towers, they get to heal them up, which is exactly what's going on already at that bottom tier 1. So not getting the tower really hurts CompLexity. The Weaver pushed his top lane to the limit, took the tier 1, did some additional damage and farm to the tier 2, so that's a big loss for CompLexity there, not getting the tower and then losing a couple of heroes on the way out.
Z-Freak looking to pick up some levels. There is Efley and Snaking to go in, but now Chessie with that Invis, he would have been hoping for a 2-man RP. He's going to still maintain patience. Try and find more. Doesn't need to reveal himself yet, but he will do so. All tried to skewer over and catch Efley in the RP as well, but it wasn't successful. The shard trap will be. He's just on the edge of this sentry, and it is enough vision to catch him out and finish off another. They do end up getting the double. Mood to pick it up as well. Mid lane though, Swindles came in for the XP. CC and Senior War did get the kill. Now put some pressure themselves onto the tier 1. All in all, it is CompLexity still getting this tier 1 down on the bottom. They drop the wards for it. Overall farm lead slightly for that of Team Freedom. CCC still leads the way in the puck, but it's very, very close.
Yeah. Importantly, Cole finally get that tower. It took him a lot longer than they would have hoped for, but winning the Serpent Wards now means that perhaps Freedom think they can take the tier 1 mid of their own. CCC is a blink, so defending this gets even harder when there's that initiation threat from a puck. Very hard to punish those kind of moves at this stage of the game. You haven't got RP, you haven't got Serpent Wards. This is probably something that CompLexity just have to let go with 4 Radiant heroes in the mid lane.
Yeah, just like the move gets the space elsewhere on the map, finds the opportunity to continue to farm. The lane being pressured as it is. Blink Dagger nearly jumped for Jesse. 1700 towards it, mid lane. The jump in straight away is there. Dream Coil only going to catch out Swindles. As the burst him down, he's actually going to keep himself alive for the moment being with the stick charges. The bugs do connect, but they'll be able to take it off Swindles, keep the dragon alive. So Team Freedom, with the commitment of the Dream Coil, unable to find a kill. They do secure that mid tier 1, but nothing more for the time being.
Yep, the Tree and bottom getting some levels and farm, but ultimately this is a pace which is fine for Freedom. They've got Midas going on the Omni Knight. They're going to be looking to build one on the Tree and Protector even, potentially. So as long as CompLexity aren't taking tower after tower, which is part of what their lamp's designed to do. You pick this core Jakiro, max out Liquid Fire. You have a Shadow Shaman. You have a Jug with Healing Ward maxed out. You want to be taking a lot of early towers, but they've only taken 1 T1 tower. We're 16 minutes in, and I think that's a big concern for CompLexity. They are going to take out an Ancient Stack, boost up their economy a bit, but they are looking for this Chessie blink, and from there, they can't look back. They have to charge forward, take team fights, take objectives. Right now, Weaver, Puck, they're just constantly pressuring lanes, split pushing top, split pushing mid, and it's Freedom who are taking more towers than CompLexity, and they're not the ones with the pushing drop.
We'll see if they'll look for any sort of smoke play. Top lane, Z-Freak getting jumped upon. No holding back from CCNC as he's straight in with the Dream Coil, secures them the kill. And it really is, as you say, Freedom, just finding the list of objectives, ticking them off as they go. And CompLexity yet to find that big play that they'd hoped for. Jump in on the middle. Chessie is there. They will reveal that he has that blink as he was straight up. Looks to try and get the skewer hook. It's going to be unsuccessful. The follow-up hex is there from Jimmy. So they do get the Omni. Wards are down. They will find this tier 1 in response.
Omni dead. They can't really defend this anymore. It was a great time to try and defend for Freedom. They had an Arcane Rune Puck. That was kind of a dream scenario for them, but Omni TPing into the hex really spelled the end of that defense.
And is that going to be enough damage with the Gemini attack? It is. They'll take the courier down. And Wild Time lets himself back out. Nothing was on it at the moment, but still a courier kill is a courier kill. 3 minutes, more gold is the pocket of Freedom. Still looking for Chessie to make these plays.
Yeah, looking to jump on this train. He's been just alone farming for a bit too long by himself, and Olive had him out.
They've got the lockdown. Shackles into Ice Path. Escape for F. Lee. As they'll get themselves in position for this push down bottom. Team Freedom certainly could fight this. Leading in straight away. They've got the silence onto the Jug. Bursting in down low. Blade Fury from Moo comes out as he tries to back himself away. They get the Hex on the sidelines, holding back CCNC. Chessie skewers forward. Oh, there's the ult, but it only catches one. The heal will be there onto Ward, keeping him alive, and now Swindle's in trouble as Freedom turns towards Chikiro. It would actually keep him alive by the looks of it, as he will survive. Jimmy found by the sidelines as the Shikuchi comes in from the Weaver, so they've lost two. They'll finally lose Swindles. And Chessie, he's being chased down as well. CCNC jumping forward, looking for more action. He's skewing himself back. Yawar's trying to get the chase down. CCNC jumps forward. The snowball will be there to save the Magnus, allow Chessie to blink out. At the end of the day, it is again CompLexity losing 3, and still yet to find those big RP plays. As you know, as we mentioned at the start, Team Freedom with some very elusive heroes, and very easy for Freedom to play around it and just jump straight back in.
Yeah, they had the mag going bottom, so it was a very clear idea that CompLexity wanted to try and fight around the RP, but the initiation from Freedom came before mag was even there. He came in when Jug was already almost dead. He manages to just barely escape with the Blade Fury healing ward, but he does still get chased down by the puck, doesn't get an Omni Slash off. That fight is very reliant on not just the mag RP coming in. You don't have to hit too many heroes with it, but you need to keep the Jug alive so that he can get at least 1 or 2 kills with an Omni Slash. Not getting that spell off, not getting any damage off is just a losing recipe for CompLexity.
I mean, I wonder this, how do you deal with this puck? How do you catch this puck? I mean, CCNC has just been a huge nuisance, and it's not like it's the first game that we've seen him do this. It seems to be the hero that he is incredibly comfortable on today. And I kind of wonder if you just take it away from him at this stage. In all 3 games we've seen him play it, he has had an incredible effect on the game.
There is potential with an eventual Blink Dagger on Shadow Shaman to add some instant lockdown to catch him by surprise, but there's still Omni Knight saves, there's still a Treant Protector, and Shadow Shaman also has to farm a Blink Dagger, which he's miles away from. Top lane, Demon's been scattered. This is,
he does have backup coming in there.
Oh, they got the RP.
Comes straight off the puck. That's one way to catch him. They'll skewer forward, looking for more. Wards drop down as well on the sideline though. The freezing field coming out from the CM. Chessie picks up a double though. They've taken 2. Can they get any more? Move, trying to man up, held in place by the Sprout. They'll go in, get the 3rd kill here as CompLexity coming out on top for the time being, but now they've got to get out and they won't be successful with Moo's escape. They will get the Tusk out in time.
That's with a puck insta-kill. The puck didn't get spells off. They used their vision there around that shrine. They had such good dire wards that they could instantly go on the puck. They see him TPing in. Magnus doesn't even hesitate to RP. He knows that there's a small chance puck can phase shift it. And if puck phase shifts it, it's a completely lost team fight. But sometimes you're in a position where you have to take those risks. And I think CompLexity, after failing to push towers on multiple occasions, know, look, we got to take some chances. Let's just go for this RP on a puck. It lands, they get the kill, and it's an okay fight for them. It doesn't turn out amazingly well with the Weaver TPing in, cleaning up, but at least they get that one important kill. Problem is, it still wasn't enough. They don't actually convincingly win the fight. They don't get the tower.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's Yawad setting up, getting himself involved and surviving, keeping Team Freedom ahead with the farm that he's got on his Weaver.
Well, Freedom will continue to accelerate at this point if they, with the Midas and all the farm they're getting, all 3 of their cores almost topping the net worth chart, just the Omni Knight slightly behind Magnus, and the Midas, you're going to imagine that'll change fairly quickly. They're in the Roche Pit. They don't even seem to care that they've been scattered by this Sigil. They welcome a team fight at this point with RP on cooldown.
They know they've got potential to turn it. In fact, they just jump straight up to the high ground. The Hex will be there, but in fact, they can't get the follow-through lockdown. The Lincolns locking it up. CCNC now able to turn with the silence onto Swindles. Still no RP for about 10 seconds, I believe. 5 seconds until the RP. We'll see if Chessie can find the chance to get back in. They're incredibly grouped up. If Chessie can get a jump for it, could be big, but he's already lost the Jakiro. They've got the shackle onto Weaver. There's the jump, and he's done it. He's caught 3. Chessie, absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like the Freedom, they were aware at the start of the fight there was no RP, but they didn't anticipate for the fight to go on as it did. Chessie to get RP back online, jumps in, perfect setup, straight into the pit. They'll drop the walls, no messing. They'll clean this up for themselves.
Yeah, before the RP came up, the CM was actually using the urn charges offensively on Magnus to keep his blink off, but Chessie managed to just get back in the fog, prevent any follow-up damage, like a secondary urn on it. If he doesn't get that blink up, doesn't get that RP off, doesn't turn that fight around. But yeah, really nicely played, very patient from him. And unfortunately for Freedom, they didn't have the vision. If they had some extra vision, perhaps they could have gone better.
CCNC going for some split push puck action, but he thinks he's just going to die.
Did not expect that amount of lockdown.
I mean, Jimmy just walks up and hexed him, and there was no reaction. I mean, yeah. All right. Things looking up
elsewhere
after those last bit of action. Still, the overall goal lead for Team Freedom, as you said, with their itemization and such, but CompLexity can definitely get back ahead. You know, Jug Magnus, this combo farms a tree if you give him the time.
It's the combo that doesn't care how much gold they're behind. All it takes is one good RP, and you win a fight. We saw it there. You're down like 6, 7, 8k gold. Doesn't matter. If you hit that 3-man RP, you're going to kill everyone inside that with an Omni Slash, and Moo does what's needed. And with an Aegis now, with a Shadow Blade on the Magnus, they've got options to continue to take these fights. It's just going to come down to perhaps getting an early gem. They need to find a way to deal with this Treant vision factor. And I think more than anything, CompLexity have to start thinking of how to take down some more towers. Still just 2 tier 1s. They need to focus more on objectives.
They've got to keep it cool a little bit, make sure that they don't allow Yuwa to get caught out like that on the front lines. By that check, I believe as well, he may have opened himself up for that vulnerability because he used the Lincolns on CCNC to try and allow him to get away with his
Chessie's got an RP.
Oh, again! He's caught 2. Screws them back into the hands of his teammates. If they come in with the Omni and the Snowball, they'll take down the CM. The GA now will come out and return from the side of Freedom as they'll now look to turn. Healing Ward being microed very nicely here, keeping Chessie alive. They'll turn back towards Snaking with a 3-man Dream Coil as they're trying to hold them back. CCNC jumping in onto Chessie, but he walks it off with the Shadow Blade. He'll survive. Now turns back up onto Snaking. They'll move in with the Blade Fury, bring down the Omni Knight. They've lost 2. Yuwa has come across, trying to see if he can get any sort of cleanup kill. Goes in onto Chessie. Silence is there onto the touch. They've brought down the Magnus. They need more though, Freedom. They'll find it. They'll get the punch from the Treant out onto the touch. Moo chasing down the Treant in response. The dust is out. Again, CompLexity continuing to keep themselves on top of this fight, but CCNC could certainly clean up a good silence like this. Putting Moo's life in danger. They'll pop the Aegis. The Orb will finish off the Jakiro. Demon used up low on the mana though on CCNC, but it doesn't matter because Yuwa should have the damage to finish this off, and indeed, with the waning rift from CNC, they do.
A long, messy fight, and CompLexity with an Aegis. Thought they maybe had a good jump there. The initial RP's fine if they can kill that puck, but the Jug was just not close enough to actually throw the Omni Slash out. You really need that follow-up damage to get the kill. If not an Omni Slash, at least an Ice Path to prevent the puck escaping, but there was no follow-up, and all they got was a Crystal Maiden out of the RP as a result, so...
That's not good enough. That's not good enough. You need more if you're CompLexity to start these fights.
One of those scenarios where it's a two-man RP on those heroes is fine if you kill the puck, but not killing the puck means it's a wasted RP, and with CompLexity on the back foot, even though they had the Aegis advantage there, ultimately they were lacking one of their key controls to deal with this puck, this Weaver. You've got these 2 very elusive cores. You need all the lockdown you can get. A hero like Shadow Shaman is just somewhat unreliable for lockdown in a team fight because of how squishy he is. He's always going to be getting kind of hunted down by the likes of Treant Protector, Weaver, Puck. They want to ideally focus him as one of the first targets because of how squishy he is.
Diffusal there. Moo now as well, so one of the ways of dealing with that GA from the Omni Knight, and certainly the extra damage going to help out tenfold once they get the opening, the lockdown, allowing the Jug to beat into the side of Freedom.
But again, like Cole, they're losing some towers here and there. They're not doing all too great, but they're not getting completely blown away. Like, they're keeping up in farm enough with the Empower. They've got another RP up. They're going to go for it again. You have one RP which doesn't turn into a good team fight. Perhaps the next one will. All it's going to take is 1 in 5 RPs to win you a team fight. And the gold swing from, like, team wiping the enemy is very different to just losing a kill or two like we just saw. So for CompLexity, they got to just kind of remain calm, composed, and just wait for their moment to come. Like, one bad fight like that doesn't really hurt them all too much if they can land the next big RP.
It's just so hard for Chelsea to do so with both the puck. You know, CCNC consistently will be looking to jump in and get the jump on Magnus before he does on them, and obviously Efley on the Treant will always be moving to position on the back lines, trying to spot out the position of Chessie. They'll look to smoke up though, and work around these problems to ensure that they can get a good jump themselves. What is dropped?
Nice ward.
No, there's action up on the high ground. CM may be the one to tank this gang, and he will tank the initial egg. There's the jump up. There's the RP onto the Omni, and that's a big... Taking the Omni out of the fight to start with makes it a hell of a lot harder for the rest of Freedom to fight back. They'll try and get themselves out,
he didn't make
but he
it past the
doesn't
cliff.
get down the cliff. They've got the ice path. Can he get himself out of this one? He cannot. They'll pick up a third. Triple kill for Moo. And that's what we're talking about. If they can get the jump, they don't need to have a flashy RP. They just need to catch one of those crucial heroes. Omni Knight certainly being one of them.
Yeah, that's just it. Catch one of the core heroes and kill them in RP. You're okay with that. Ideally, you want to catch more, but just one is still enough to win a fight. They've got so much lockdown that killing one with RP, you've still got Ice Path, Hexes to deal with the others, and suddenly CompLexity on the high ground, and with Serpent with Liquid Fire, they push incredibly fast.
Yeah, they should have this very good chance for this Rax. Is there any qualification available for Team Freedom?
It's been used a long time ago, so yeah, it's not coming up for some time, and it's coming up in 15 seconds, but that's 15 seconds too late.
Overgrowth to cancel Chessie's TP at the least. I don't know if it's necessarily going to result in a kill on him, and it's not, so nothing more than just a bit of an annoyance here for the Magnus. As Efley sees him can chase down for more, he'll actually blink forward aggressively just to sort of taunt them out of this. But yeah, losing Rax just like that, yeah, really just goes to show how careful Team Freedom have to be about being jumped upon by CompLexity.
Yeah, I think we're going to see CompLexity upper lane of Rax now can play in a much more aggressive way. They're going to get a lot more map control out of this. They're understanding that they don't have to be too patient with these RPs, just throwing at the start of the fight to jump an Omni Knight. The puck can be fine in itself. Probably not the puck because there's always a danger of him phase shift dodging it, but just getting that one core hero is proving to be enough for them to win these team fights, and CompLexity looking very good all of a sudden.
Yeah, move, top of the farm. Very good position. I mean, as you said, an empowered jug, as we saw last fight, easily picking up the triple kill. Puts him in very, very good place at the moment. Pipe now complete. Swindles as well. At the end of the day, the off-lane Jakira, it certainly paid off. Maybe not pressured as much as you would have liked to see from Freedom in the laning stage. And Swindle's still in a good position. Chessie just try for the skewer hook onto CCNC. It's hard to get, but at the moment he knows that there's nothing really that's going to be able to punish him going for a cheeky little attempt like that.
Yeah. Likely see the next plays and focus happen around the Roche respawn, which is anytime in the next 3 minutes. So with that in mind, both teams will be posturing around the pit, trying to set up some observer wards. And we'll see even a gem picked up now by the Dire side. They recognize how important Roche is going to be. You want to deny any vision from your opposing team. Also, more importantly, probably deal with the Treant Protector. He's constantly scouting things out, so there's...
Yeah, we'll see who actually pays off, because they both teams picked it up, as CM also grabbed one up for Freedom. She's put it onto, but definitely the purchase was made.
Top tower
See them themselves going for the smoke. Around this pit, they know... They seem to have a pretty good indication of where CompLexity are. They've got a good angle, Team Freedom. They'd love to find that Magnus on the back. It's Chessie's position that's the most important. The tower will be taken. Team Freedom with the long wraparound from behind. Who will they find the opening onto? Chessie getting himself out, or at least trying to. Will Shadow Blade up, has been silenced, pops the BKB, looking to move into position. Oh, he's got two big ones. Does he have the damage? He does. Moves there perfectly into position, and that play there from Chessie, very nice, as he gets both the Weaver and the Omni Knight together. I mean, that is a dream for a CompLexity there. You get one of those, you're good. If you get both of them, there's no way Team Freedom are coming back in a team fight like that.
I think his #1 priority we've seen has been the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
But if you catch someone with the Omni, it's absolutely fantastic.
Just no matter, pop the BKB, sees your war, straight skewer across into the Omni, the 2 perfect targets, moves there in position, and it's a beautiful couple of tricks.
Great time to fight with the BKB because you're no longer afraid of the Dream Call. He's able to skewer out of it and not get stunned. That just plays perfectly into CompLexity's hands. Demon was really well positioned on the side too, got some lockdown onto the Dream Protector, stopped an overgrowth from happening, and just all in all, great positioning and awareness from Cole. They knew exactly where the smoke was coming from, and they played accordingly. It was a fantastic result for them. They won't get the lane of racks, though. They'll have to back off, hope for like a fast Roche respawn, which isn't going to be the case, but take shrines out on your way and just get further and further ahead. Now they've got to wait for ultimate, so I don't think they want to be forcing a Roche until they've got another RP. Luckily for them, Roche hasn't respawned.
What were the talents we've seen the Magnus take? Have they taken anything a little different? Or is it
GPM over String. Oh, missed Dream Coil.
Does still find the Yules. Can they actually get this kill? And Shadowblade walks out and the vision is not there. They drop 1 sentry, but Chessie's already way out of range.
So as a result of that fight, Radiant team, I guess, lost their gem, so both now on the Dire.
That must be. Maybe falling away with Jimmy's holding one of them. They're bringing both out with them. Yeah, one on Jimmy, one on Swindles.
Yep, you got to position your heroes on separate sides and have a higher chance of finding the Treant by doing this, but ulti's back up, Cole ready to go, may just try and force a fight in the Roche if they want, but... And they've got good vision, they've got that one high ground ward to the south of the Roche pit, so they can definitely just stick the Jug, the Magnus inside and wait to see if any heroes will come. And problem for Freedom is they just shoot through all that smoke. They use 2 in quick succession, and they've got very few options to engage at the pit without just walking past Observer Ward.
And Chessie's got that RP ready to go again.
Yep.
So
I think they see. They know Snaking's behind these trees. They know now. Really RP him.
This is planned. Yeah, he will. He sees the Omni, has taken that in a good position. Omni slash comes through as well. Omni Knight pulling low does drop. They've already lost 2 as they'll lose the Treant as well. In response to the freezing field, certainly doing damage. CompLexity, they lose the touch, but overall it's just Chessie controlling the fight, skewing CCNC across, who tries to get himself away with the orb. Will be able to find the blink out. But it's a 2 for 3. Again, a trade favoring CompLexity. And as we, again, it's just Chessie. If he gets a good RP, the fight is won.
That one, yeah, not as dominantly won in terms of the team fight since the 2 carries get away, but yeah, they get some Roche. CompLexity will be happy with it. They can get themselves Aegis and Cheese, and then they can back off, wait for their ultis to come back up. Freedom, though, want to stop this. You've got a Puck, you've got no Dream Call for a little bit. Yeah, actually, Cole have to back off, even though it's only 2 heroes. They're 2 very dangerous heroes, which they can't lock down. The Shadow Shaman being the key hero they need.
Oh, is he going to do it? Look at Yoa. He's eyeing it up already. He's, I mean, we do see a lot of players joke around with the quick buy.
Not.
I feel, I mean, Rapiers not. I mean, it's not.
They're down just 1 lane of racks. Like if it was 2 lanes, I'd be like, yeah, sure, go for it. But 1 lane, I feel it's enough. Like,
he's not going to buy Rape.
But it's a Demon Edge for now.
Oh, shoot.
May just feel like.
I mean, I'm sure he's probably just seeing the butterfly coming out for the Jug, or at least with this. Did Moo buy any bits of that yet?
No, he's not bought any pieces yet.
He's not bought any bits of it yet, okay.
Maybe, I mean, it's one of those games where you're just so outmatched in teamfight that he may feel he just needs some crazy DPS item to insta-kill like the supports and just really burst down heroes down.
I mean, I guess he feels pretty safe. Yeah, if he doesn't get caught in the RP, he can still play around a bit. Like mid-lane CCC caught out in the Iceman RP. He will lose himself out, he will play himself out, and this he can't. And that's put down for 70 seconds. He does not have buyback available.
Magnus was hunting forward, gets disabled before he can go on snaking.
Ooh, freezing foot as well, if anything, just stopping any further link forward from Chessie, so CM giving up his life.
That's the overgrowth though. I mean, it saves Omni Knight, so it's kind of like, well, if Omni dies, you lose your axe, but now you don't have overgrowth, so you may also lose your axe. And they'll go straight for that top lane, and this is not really any way for Freedom to defend this one. The Puck, their team fight is gone. They're gonna.
Chessie's going deep as well. He's hunting for an RP and he's just found it. Straight in, no messing. Drags back the Omni Knight and there's no buyback on snaking either. Down for 50 seconds. top lane will be easily open for the takings. Bottom lane, there is still a tier 2, so Team Freedom will be spared the mega creeps for now. They will have another chance, but yeah, 2 sets of racks down. I think that rapier may not be a joke anymore.
No, it's probably one of the few items that can turn this game around. I think we'll be seeing it if he can get it before the game ends, but Roche is going to be claimed by CompLexity now, and for Freedom, life gets very difficult. The gem pickup has been instrumental for stopping this Treant Protector from just being a complete nuisance. 10 deaths on Treant. That is a very, very high amount, as Francis Lee has struggled to not get caught out.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a sort of emergency rapier win a game, but I would love to see it. I'm trying to think, did we see any rapiers at Manila?
I'd say I saw at least one. I don't think it, maybe not actually.
So did Envy buy a rapier?
A lot of Bristle, so he didn't really play many rapier heroes.
No.
Some Luna, but one game's faster. Dreamcall comes out.
CCNC with the jump in. Oh, Jimmy's in a good position to find a follow-through lockdown. The base will be there. CCNC will find Stanking. Again, finding a great position for these freezing fields. The GA will come through here, and now it's going to be CompLexity that have to get themselves out. Z3 already taken down. Jesse out of mana, trying to man up. Yawar shikuching away, looking to get himself away from this Shaman. Now the three of them potentially in trouble as Chessie and Moose turn their attention towards snaking. CCNC and Yawar continue to be elusive. In fact, Yawar just turns, brings down the Shaman. Swindle's in trouble now as well. A lot of damage coming out from this Weaver with the Maelstrom and such. Ooh, Yawar quick with the time lapse. Jump back in for CCNC. Trying to finish off the Dragon, but he can't quite do it. As soon as they can, hold him back here, but can he play his way out? CCNC, one more face for the... Ooh! He's put to the high ground. Jesse looks for the shockwave. He'll go for the TP out, and he will make his way back to base, but the base starting to be a bit of a shambles. But all in all, I mean, the numbers there as we see the good gold swing slightly favoring that of Team Freedom. And
Running for the rapier now, if he doesn't die.
Oh no!
At least he didn't buy it. You know?
At least he didn't buy it. That's true. He could have picked it up from that secret shop.
Yeah. I thought for a second he would, and I was like, that doesn't look like the safest place.
Well, actually, he's not got the money now. He's died.
Yeah, lose a bit. He's also
so close to seeing the Rapier Dream come to life, but with him down for 80 seconds and CompLexity having the full lineup back up, I don't know if we're going to get to see that Rapier.
We'll have buyback in 30 seconds, so that'll perhaps even be necessary to defend the high ground. We'll have to wait and see. The creep wave is a bit of a ways away, and the pressure from CompLexity has got to be coming at this point. The RP's down for a little bit longer, but they'll have it by the time they reach the Team Freedom Tier 3 tower, and at that point it's going to come down to Freedom to make a big initiation if they want to defend.
But a run complete for Moo has had an absolute treat of a mid to late game. Miles ahead now of Yawar's farm. Pressure coming in. CCNC, ooh, cheeky pause here from the tree. What's up with this, athlete?
So buyback is there for Weaver. He looks like he doesn't want to use it and has now an MKB queued up.
Come on, I guess he's seen the MKB and he realizes the sensible thing is to buy the MKB.
It's not even about, I mean, part of it's sensibility, but it's also like, you need an item now.
Into Chessie, straight in there with the two-man RP, and that is two heroes out of the fight. Drian and Omni to go, and the GG's called straight up. RPs like that, they're gonna win the game, and there we have it. GG, well played. CompLexity take game one, and I think they're gonna be pretty happy with the stand-in performance. Chessie did an absolute tree on that.
Yeah.
This game.
I think they're used to playing like a faster pace.